Today I wanted to do sort of a deep video. I wanted to share this because I know I'm in high school and a lot of other people go through this and are going through this. And so I thought maybe making a video about it could help. Sorry for the red face, by the way, I just got done dancing. So, yep. But today I wanted to make a video about eating disorders. Specifically because this is what happened to me, anorexia. So I want to go over my experience and what I see with others around me and like the friends that I made during this time, and just overall hope I answer some questions and prevent other people from having this issue, as well as help people who are having this issue right now. So for me, it started around the time I was 13, maybe a little older, and it started out really normal. I was eating very healthy and there were no problems that I could, see at the time. But as I saw like progress with my weight dropping, and by no means was I like overweight or really fat. I mean, people have fat, they're not fat, just like I have fingernails, I'm not fingernails. But that's not the point. I was not overweight or unhealthy. I could have been eating healthier, but I was not unhealthy. I started eating healthier, like lots of smoothies, stuff like that, and working out. And it was perfectly okay at first. I saw my weight dropping and I was really excited, happy. Like I had never been on anything that was even remotely successful before, like a diet or like a exercise plan. And I was just like working out at home in my room, and it was nothing major. A little bit of dancing, a little bit of like weights or whatever we had at home. And then as my weight continued to go down, I continued to eat less and less, and then it became a fear. Like I was honestly afraid of this food. It's very mental, very in your head, and a lot of people think, oh, it's only because you want to be skinny. Not always. It can definitely stem from that, and that was part of my problem. Like I had always been seen as, like I was bigger than my friends, I had been called fat before. But for me, it was mostly about control. That was a time in my life when I felt like I didn't have a lot of control over what was happening around me, and with everything changing in your body as you grow older, it's really hard to get a grip like on yourself and the world around you. I was going through a lot at that point in time with family and friends and other things as well. So for me, it was a lot about control as well as the wanting to be skinny and fit in with like the societal norm and stuff like that. I don't blame media and stuff like that for my eating disorder though. I don't know. It didn't affect me like maybe it affects other people. I really don't know how that works for other people, so comment below if you've been through this or you know somebody who's been through this and they think that it's about the media. I don't know. But I had a lot of problems and took it out like on my body, thinking that, oh, if I'm able to control my weight, I'm able to control anything, or something to that effect. It got really bad, and I'm not going to give numbers because I know a lot of people have issue or get worse because of like, oh, that person was worse than me, like why am I not that skinny, which is definitely not what I want to do. I think that eating disorders are the worst way to try to solve your problems, one of the worst ways to try to solve your problems. They don't help, they make matters worse, and this is coming from somebody who has had an eating disorder. I'm not BSing anyone here. I mean, you can kind of see it. The first few videos that I put out, I was a lot smaller than I am now, and that was even towards the end of my eating disorder. It wasn't good, and by no means was I happy. Being skinny does not make you happy. Just because you're skinny does not mean that you're happy. People can be skinny and happy, but that's only if they're eating properly, and that's just how their body chooses to react to the food that they're eating. Not you starving yourself. Like, that is not going to help anything in your life. And then when it came to like physical symptoms and stuff like that. Like I had a lot of hair loss. My hair used to be very, very thick. I had like dizzy spells, really blurry vision at times. I would bruise really easy, get cold super, super easy. These are pretty much what happens to everyone, or like everyone that I've met and seen and like heard them talk about it. This is pretty common. It is no way to live your life. I think that there are better ways to release that. And for me, getting better, once I had already had the eating disorder, which I did not see it turning into an eating disorder. I thought, oh me, I could never have an eating disorder. Like I don't have that sort of control. Which brings me to another thing. Eating disorders are not control. I got a lot of, well, if you can force yourself not to eat, you can force yourself to eat. That's not exactly true. You're not forcing yourself not to eat. It is almost kind of like you have like another voice inside your head. A lot of people call it Anna or Ed or like whatever fits your scenario. It's hard to go against it. It's not control to not eat. It's control to get your life back on track. That's impressive. And that's what people are going to be like, yeah, that person is really strong. And they can control what they do. They have self-control. You having an eating disorder, you're letting yourself go in a different way than, say, we would normally say, like with obesity or something like that. It's just the other end. It's no healthier for you than obesity. And people, I don't know the statistics or facts on this one, but they say it's actually worse for you, an eating disorder, than it would be obesity. I cannot stress this enough. It is not a way to solve your problems. It is not going to help your life. It hurts the people in your family or who are close to you. It's a struggle. And why would you want to miss out on something that's essential for life and like happiness? For me, when I was recovering, I found a lot of help in online people. Basically other like Instagram accounts or YouTube accounts. I have now found that veganism is the best thing. I do not feel restricted. Now, I wasn't vegan at first when I was first recovering. I've only been vegan for a few months now. But I honestly find it to be one of the best things for anorexics or recovering anorexics. People may try to take advantage of it and be like, oh, I'm vegan, I can't eat that, that, and that. Well, there's still a lot you can eat, so you have to be cautious of that. Like, you can't use veganism to fuel your eating disorder, but if you're doing it the right way, you're eating plenty, you're getting all the right nutrients that you need, which is actually not hard being a vegan and getting all the nutrients you need. It is a lot more simple than people make it sound. But it's honestly helped me, and I feel like I can eat until I'm satisfied and full, and I don't have to worry about like what's in my food, because I'm like, yeah, this is really good for me. It's fueling my body, it's making my body healthy. So I suggest it to anybody, but people with eating disorders, I think that could possibly help. I think that veganism is the best lifestyle and diet. But back to the specific topic of eating disorders, I urge you to get help, even if it's just a family member or a friend that you like start with. You may not go to a therapist or a dietitian, which I tried, and for me it didn't work. It was not my thing. It works for a ton of people, and that is great, but for me, and maybe it was just the specific people I went to, it didn't help me. I had to overcome it on my own, which is again something that somebody could use to say, oh, well, I'll be fine, I'll do it myself, don't worry. But for me, it was something that I had to overcome myself. Others telling me how to do it or how to eat, it didn't work for me, and I didn't feel any sense of my own life. I didn't like it. So I slowly started finding like reasons as to why I should recover for my health, my well-being and living long, recover for dance so that I wouldn't pass out essentially if I started to exercise, which is another thing. A lot of anorexics do over-exercise, and some people consider that like bulimia or like bulimic behaviors, which I don't know, I'm no expert, but that does come along with anorexia as well. But back to what I was saying is I slowly started to find things like dance and my health and being able to go out with my friends and not feel like in a corner. It really does change your complete mindset. You're very sad. Your brain cannot think right without the proper nutrients. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Please get help. Help yourself. Do what you need to do to get yourself out of this hole. I love you all. And if anybody needs anything, ask questions below. I can give you names or numbers to people who might be able to help you, or even just make a little community below with people who are going through something similar to you. DM me on Instagram, anything like that. I'm always willing to try to give advice, and obviously I am no dietitian, no nutritionist, no specialist. I am 15, but I'm here to try to help. Love you all. Goodbye.